Did you know that the south pole of the moon may be the key to humanity's future in space? The exploration of the lunar South Pole is not just another space mission. It's a true race for essential resources that could transform the way we explore the cosmos. The presence of frozen water in this unexplored region for billions of years could revolutionize our possibilities for lunar colonization and enable longer journeys in space. Why are so many countries eyeing the moon's South Pole now? Because whoever masters this area will control one of the most valuable resources for future space missions, lunar ice, which can be converted into drinking water, oxygen, and even rocket fuel. In 2023, India's Chandrayaan-3 mission successfully landed at the moon's South Pole, marking a historic achievement. This accomplishment puts India at the forefront of space exploration, especially in a lunar area that many believe is crucial for future human colonies. What makes the moon's South Pole so special? In addition to housing water reserves, this region is in permanent shadow, protecting it from the intense temperature variations occurring in other parts of the moon. This means that hidden within this ice may be scientific secrets that redefine our understanding of life beyond Earth. Stay until the end of the video and you will discover why the moon's South Pole is so coveted and what this region may reveal about humanity's future in space. The importance of the lunar South Pole. Why has the moon's South Pole become the holy grail of space exploration? The answer lies in the unique conditions this area offers. Unlike other parts of the moon, the South Pole is characterized by craters that remain in perpetual shadow, meaning these regions do not face the intense temperature fluctuations that the rest of the moon endures. The temperatures there are extremely cold but stable, which has allowed the preservation of one of the most valuable resources for space exploration: water ice. This ice, present at the bottoms of these shadowed craters, is a true treasure for future human missions to the moon and beyond. Water is one of the most essential elements for life, but its value in space exploration goes beyond simply quenching astronauts' thirst. It can be split into oxygen and hydrogen, providing both breathable air and rocket fuel. This would turn the moon into a crucial staging point for even more ambitious missions, like a trip to Mars. The presence of ice at the South Pole makes this region seen as a strategic location for future lunar bases. Imagine a scenario where it would no longer be necessary to send large quantities of supplies from Earth for each mission. If scientists can efficiently extract and utilize lunar ice, the moon could become a sort of gas station for the solar system. This would facilitate not only the colonization of the moon itself, but also pave the way for the exploration of other planets. For the public, it may be difficult to imagine how this would directly impact their lives. So think of lunar colonization as the next great leap for humanity. Imagine a future where our descendants live and work beyond Earth. All of this starts with the ability to utilize the natural resources of our satellite. By exploring the South Pole, we are not just investigating ice, we are taking the first steps toward deep space colonization. The development of these technologies and the possibility of living on the moon could mark the beginning of an era where humanity expands its horizons beyond the planet we call home. This race for the lunar South Pole is in many ways a reminiscence of the 20th century space race, when the US and the Soviet Union competed to be the first nation to reach the moon. Today, however, the competition is more complex, with various nations involved, such as China, Russia, the United States, and even private companies. China, for instance, has announced ambitious plans to establish a lunar base by 2030. And the US, with NASA's Artemis program, is equally focused on returning to the moon to establish a permanent presence. Looking at this new space race, it is clear that the focus now is not just on landing on the moon, but on securing a strategic position in an area rich with resources that could shape the future of space exploration. The South Pole of the moon has become the most coveted goal for these modern space powers, precisely because how Chandrayaan-3 contributed to lunar exploration. India made history by becoming the first nation to successfully land on the moon's South Pole. But how did they do it? The Chandrayaan-3 mission, launched by the Indian Space Research Organization, ESRO, represented an important milestone not only for India but for the entire global space exploration community. Using innovative technologies, this mission achieved what many countries are still trying to accomplish. At the heart of this achievement were the Vikram lander and the Pragyan rover, both designed to explore the unexplored surface of the lunar South Pole. The Vikram lander was a true masterpiece of space engineering. Equipped with a range of scientific instruments, it was carefully designed to withstand the extreme conditions of the lunar South Pole, where craters are permanently shadowed and temperatures can drop drastically. The Pragyan rover, on the other hand, was tasked with exploring the terrain around the landing site, collecting essential data about soil composition and, crucially, searching for signs of water ice. The information gathered by these instruments is of vital importance for future manned and unmanned missions, as it helps map a terrain that until now was unknown. One of the great lessons from the Chandrayaan-3 mission came from the failure of Chandrayaan-2, its predecessor. In 2019, the Chandrayaan-2 lander lost contact with Earth during its landing attempt, a devastating setback for ISRO. However, this failure became a learning opportunity for scientists. They went back to the drawing board, studied the mistakes of the previous mission, and implemented crucial changes in the design of Chandrayaan-3. This resilience showcased to the world the determination and adaptability of the Indian scientific community. The success of Chandrayaan-3 is a testament to how mistakes can be transformed into victories through perseverance and technological innovation. The discoveries made by Chandrayaan-3 cannot be underestimated. While the complete results are still being analyzed, the initial information provided by the Pragyan rover has already begun to shape the future of lunar exploration. The presence of water ice and shadowed craters has been confirmed, reinforcing the strategic value of the Moon's South Pole. Furthermore, the detailed mapping of unexplored terrain provides valuable data for space agencies like NASA and ESA, which are also planning their own missions to this region. The data from Chandrayaan-3 will help these agencies optimize their future expeditions, avoiding risky areas and focusing on more promising regions for resource extraction. The impact of this mission extends far beyond India. It demonstrated that, with determination and innovation, emerging countries can also play a central role in modern space exploration. The success of Chandrayaan-3 inspires not only other nations but also private companies, showing that the Moon's South Pole is the new battleground in a space race that is just beginning. Now that we know more about the Moon's South Pole, the big question is, what are the next steps in lunar exploration? With so many powers involved and new discoveries coming every day, the race to explore and colonize the Moon is more intense than ever. The future of lunar exploration and beyond. With the success of Chandrayaan-3, what comes next? The Moon is just the beginning. Now that humanity has begun to uncover the secrets of the lunar South Pole, attention turns to the future of space exploration. The next big step, NASA's Artemis program, which promises to take humans back to the Moon, focusing on the South Pole. The goal is not only to visit the Moon, but to establish a continuous and sustainable human presence. NASA plans to build permanent bases in this strategic region, allowing astronauts to stay for long periods and conduct research that will go beyond anything we have ever done in space. One of the greatest promises of these lunar bases lies in the utilization of natural resources present at the South Pole. The water ice found in permanently shadowed craters could be extracted and converted into oxygen and rocket fuel. This would enable future missions to be more efficient, eliminating the need to transport large quantities of supplies from Earth. Lunar bases could become true refueling stations for longer missions, including expeditions to Mars and even the establishment of outposts on other celestial bodies. This would mark the beginning of a new era in space exploration, where humanity could remain in space for indefinite periods. However, this race for lunar exploration is not just about technological advancement. We are also facing a new race for resources. As space exploration progresses, the Moon could become one of the most strategic points in the solar system, serving as a collection and refueling post for interplanetary travel. Water ice, in particular, is seen as the white gold of space. not only because it can be converted into drinking water and fuel, but also because it will be vital for the survival of any permanent colony. With the growing interest from powers like the US, China, and even private initiatives like Elon Musk's SpaceX, the moon could turn into the battlefield of the 21st century. Whoever controls these resources will have a significant advantage in the future space race. Looking at a long-term scenario, lunar exploration opens the doors to something even bigger: the colonization of other planets. The moon may be the first step in creating a system of space stations and self-sustaining colonies, starting with our natural satellite and expanding to Mars and beyond. Imagine a future where humans are not limited to Earth but have the ability to travel, live, and thrive in different parts of the solar system. The discoveries made at the moon's south pole may provide the knowledge and resources necessary to create sustainable colonies on other worlds. Manned missions to Mars, exploration missions to Jupiter's moons, or even permanent bases on asteroids become feasible with the right infrastructure in place.